Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is not nothing new. DJ Akademiks and Mero have been beefing for yet so long, it's been insane. Like, they've been beefing for years. Since they were on Viceland. And brothers, since Viceland, they were on Viceland. Then they went to Showtime. Then they went to just Twitter. Then they went to not even being friends anymore. Now Mero is at Hot 97, and guess what? He's still beefing with DJ Akademiks. And if you guys don't remember, they had a crazy beef back in the day. A crazy beef. And the reason I bring this up is because you're gonna hear Mero say that he made Akademiks cry live on stream. A lot of people did say DJ Akademiks did take this L, which was rare.
Yo, if y'all niggas got a problem, whatever. But it's really at me. So them niggas, I don't really got time for that. So, and I know I might be getting a little bit emotional, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. But this is facts. I don't got time for these media niggas, bro. Like, I don't got time for the games y'all play. I'm gonna tell y'all 100%. And I know a lot of media niggas might be watching now. I've been making more money than y'all before y'all even signed to y'all companies. I've been doing it on my own. Don't try me. You're like,
I don't know if I agree or disagree. I don't remember this beef that much fully for me to go back on who won and who lost. But I do remember the beef got serious. Not only did it get serious, the back and forward went on for quite a while. And as you guys know, DJ Akademiks was no friend of Ebru in the Morning or Peter Rosenberg either. We made a whole video about when they got fired on the network, and Akademiks had his foot on their neck. He was laughing, he was going crazy. Remember, they said Uzi was not a rock star, and that whole back and forward, and Uzi's like, it's cool, y'all gonna see me in a couple years, to the point where Uzi blew up to probably one of the biggest talents that have been on Hot 97 in modern history. I'm not gonna say of all time because Hot 97 has had amazing talents throughout the year. It was a staple in New York City. You hear the word was.
I respect the fact he fell off at the end.
Yeah. Put another beat on, shit.
Nah, because all I got is old man beats and you're not built for
Hey,
that.
listen. It's gonna be a lot of young guys coming up here and they ain't gonna want to rap on that. I'm trying to tell you, it's changing.
Yo, look.
It's changing.
I hope they change.
It's changing, bro.
I hope they change. But as I've seen with all you little young motherfuckers that think you nice.
Yeah.
He is pretty nice.
You nice.
Yeah, I'm good.
Y'all get to like 27, 28, and y'all niggas get to struggling, and y'all be trying to come back and find that sound.
I ain't gonna struggle, bro.
All right, we're gonna see.
We gonna see. Oh, you gonna learn.
And guess what? I'm gonna be here.
Yeah. It's gonna be totally different too. Like I'm gonna be all the way a rock star by then.
He was gonna be a rock star, B. That's what you told me, man. We had a whole thing on this. A kid walked up to me at the gym just the other day, like, yo, I've been listening to you since I was a kid. Yo, Uzi Vert proved you wrong. I was like, yeah, he proved me wrong. But I'm still waiting on these sellout concert tours. And I'm still waiting on these hits. Like, where's that part?
Says that Uzi's out of here in a couple years. Now, years later, Uzi has the #1 rap song. Ebro has lost his job up at Hot 97. They kicked him out. He was doing videos in the car. So his weekend job is now his main job, which is Apple Music. And he's using that platform to not learn a lesson like he should have at Hot 97, to embrace new artists. He's using it to pat himself on the back and still trying to say, oh, I was right. Remember the clip where he's so stuck on the past of that's what we would put for Nas. So if you want to get in the culture that Nas helped build, you need to rap like Nas. You know? As MS Communications used to give a leash to, like, say companies like Hot 97 that was hemorrhaging money, because they would say, well, we care about the cultural impact. So even if we lose a little bit on the bottom line, fuck it. This company is on some, y'all niggas gonna have us go broke. You're fired. That's what basically they're on. So, yesterday, I believe, Ebro says it's done. More to come. Ebro in the Morning is done. Rosenberg put a whole lot of bullshit up there. He said, I lived out a childhood dream. It was amazing, this and third. He went to Instagram and said some shit like that, too. Rosenberg. What'd he say? Here we go. Yeah, he wrote a whole thing. You know this bitch-ass nigga was crying. Almost 19 years later, it's come to a close. The longest tenured morning host ever at a station became friends with my heroes. The future is exciting, but I'm filled with gratitude to the past. Ebro plucked me out of obscurity in D.C. and put a mic in my head. Nigga, fuck out of here, man. Get y'all bum asses out of here, okay? So, a little bit more about the show. That kind of like, crystallizes most of the stuff I've said before. Ebro in the Morning debuted in 2012. When the program director moved back to mornings after previously hosting the day part from 2004 to 2007, okay? When he hosted it, look at the gatekeeper in.
Now, if you pull out one of them.
Radio just isn't what radio was back then. Today, with the internet, with us being able to go to YouTube and just play whatever song we want, Apple Music in my phone, I'm DJing while I'm driving to work. Why would I be sitting here listening to another man telling me what I should listen to, a whole bunch of ads in between? The only positive from that is if you're trying to win like concert tickets or something, it's like, call in now to the radio. That's about it. But Mero gets hired at Hot 97 to replace Ebru in the Morning and Peter Rosenberg. And I won't even say to replace them, but it was just a new wave that was brought in, a new team that was brought in.
Woo! Mornings with Mero, y'all. It's your buddy Kid Mero, the human direct flap. I will be with y'all faithfully every Monday through Friday, 6 to 10, you know what I mean? The most consistent voice in your life. More consistent than your parents, which is crazy to say as a radio host because you might have good parents. But if you got bad parents, I'm your daddy now. Mornings with Mero, baby. Lock it.
And I want to make this clear. I love Mero, I love Akademiks. I used to be a fan of the DJ and Mero show, and I say was because it's something that's no longer. I didn't really like it too much when it went to Showtime. It just took too much effort for me to actually buy Showtime. Not only buy Showtime, it just wasn't the same. You guys got hot off reacting to viral clips from Twitter. That's literally why we was all there. You was one of the early reaction videos. Yeah, I was like the hood Tosh.0. Loved the takes, Mero, De Lo Mio, Dominicano, New York City, stand up. Nothing wrong with Mero. Still to this day, nothing but respect. Follow him on all platforms. That's my dog. But when it comes to Akademiks, it's like a lot of things that Mero just said on his diss to Akademiks was just outdated to me. Very outdated. And it just showed a lot to where your mind is currently right now regarding media. Akademiks did start, teasing again, like, wait, hold on, y'all fired these two guys, Ebru and Peter, that sucked at their job and couldn't understand where radio should go to or where content is going to today or how media should be looking at hip hop. And y'all replaced them with these dudes? This team B over here, Mero in the Morning, he's worse than Ebru. Called him a DEI hire. And I think that's really when he went crazy. He called Mero a DEI hire. Insane. Yo, Akademiks, you guys know when it comes to shit talking, I always say I don't got enough time to beef with Akademiks. Like, it's one of those dudes that you're never gonna put your hands physically on, and he gonna stay in the computer and give you a stand-up comedy special. He gonna violate your ass for 6 hours. I want no smoke with the guy. I don't want nothing at all. I don't even watch streamers really. And Ak turned to the streamer world. Ak's the only dude that I probably throw on the stream probably every day while I'm editing or just background. My dog. Been messing with Ak since 2015. But again, in this situation, we definitely not biased because we like both parties. I just don't like what Mero said.
Depend on me to survive. Because if you don't say my name out your stupid fat mouth, you got no motion. You don't make nothing. You don't do nothing. You don't add nothing. You are net negative to hip hop culture. You are net negative to society, gang. You know what's the saddest thing in the world? Sitting in your mother's basement, getting drunk off alcohol that she probably bought at Costco and talking crazy about any and anybody who matters more than you. And I know what burns you up inside, champ. I know what that thorn in your side ever since I made you cry live on stream years ago, and you can't let it go. What burns you up inside, my brother, is this. You talk about views, you talk about numbers, talk about all this other type of stuff, data stuff that you analytical bozo nerds love to just throw up in the air whenever people say, that's whack. That's not culturally relevant. Guess what, fam? Everything I've ever done in my entire career has been culturally relevant. You understand what I'm saying? I'm up here Hot 97 because you know what we do up here? We move culture. We make culture up here. We make culture. We don't just talk about it, all right, fam? And that's what you do. You a gossiper. You know what I'm saying? You a page 6 in the flesh. You a diabetic page out of the New York Post. You fat hamster. And then people want to get on it, social media, and ask me, yo, but is he lying? Yes, he is. Because let me tell you one thing, champ. You wish you could be me. That's what burns you up inside. You wish you could be us. Us. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just speaking for myself. I'm speaking for Mo. I'm speaking for Kaz. I'm speaking for Shiny Culture because you know what? When I sit down and talk to somebody, it's Denzel Washington. It's Barack Obama.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? It's Matt Damon. You know what I'm saying? It's the names that mean something in the culture of entertainment. When you sit down with a diabetic Tekashi and a guy called Whack 100 and a guy who hangs out in project courtyards yelling at windows. That's who you sit down with, champ. That's not what we do out here, okay? You see a Mia Bell interview, you know it's popping. You know who she sit down with. You see Kaz interviewing somebody, bro, they probably in the Hall of Fame. You see Shani interviewing somebody, man, that's somebody that's tearing it up worldwide. You understand what I'm saying? You see Kaz One, he's in Tokyo. He's in Tokyo. You in your basement in Long Island, maybe, or maybe in Jersey, because nobody knows where you are. We need drones. Mossad can't find you. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want no smoke with nobody, especially me, fam, because let me tell you something right now. If it wasn't for them strip club bouncers that form a force field around you, you'd be food. You a 20-piece chicken nugget with sweet and sour sauce. All right? And let me tell you something. The last thing I'll say about you is that you a one-trick pony. You know how to do one thing, and that's exploit poverty, misery, and violence for your own monetary gain. And not all money is good money, but I'm good, daddy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my koi fish. Shout out to Crunchy Black. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Derek Jeter. You feel me? Shout out to maybe, or maybe in Jersey, because no.
And it's not because he came at Act, because the first time he dissed Act, I was rolling. I thought it was hilarious when him and Deezus was going to Act. I thought that shit was hilarious. This time, you just used a lot of jokes that you used that was probably relevant when you went at Act like 3-4 years ago, maybe even like 5 years ago now, maybe even longer. Yeah, this shit feels like it's been going forever. But it was a lot more relevant then. Now, we hear Mero saying DJ Akademiks is fat. We know that. DJ Akademiks is an alcoholic. We are sure of that. That's why we watch him every night. It's kind of entertaining. He falls asleep on the desk. Hilarious. DJ Akademiks makes content out of his mom's house in a basement in Long Island. It was funny when Soulja Boy said it a whole bunch of years ago. Today, it's like, you must not follow Akademiks. You must not follow Akademiks because all the nigga does is post forklifts and random heavy machinery in his backyard rolling around and doing new digs and holes and different shit in his backyard. We heard Rory and Maul pulled up to his house. They didn't pull up to his mother's house and knock on the basement window. They pulled up to his house, allegedly, and left a note. And Mero just talking like the radio is such a high horse. Like, look, we create hip hop here. All you do is talk about it. Brother, that's what you do. You talk about it as well. You just talk about it on Hot 97, something you don't own. Not only that, the only difference is, yo, I don't even know who the DJ is. I was gonna say Funk Flex. I doubt Funk Flex is on the morning show. Whoever the DJ is, hit play. They hit play from a whole bunch of songs that I'm gonna say the labels probably pay for. That would be payola. That's why that would be illegal. I'm not saying that they're doing payola. I'm not saying any of that. This is all my personal opinion. What I mean by it is just, it's not music that's relevant to the streets. You guys are going by whatever should be hot right now, and the labels is telling you, yo, play this shit 5 times a day. Again, this is all my opinion. I have no evidence. I have no knowledge that that's even happening. It's just my personal opinion why I don't really listen to radio. Yo, we need this song to hit. We need this shit to start charting. Play this every day. When they started playing Meg Thee Stallion on the radio, and her shit is trash. Even the girls that were screaming Hot Girl Summer, where all day today? It's another summer, and they ain't hot girls no more. That shit came and went. But they was still ringing all that Hunichi Hich Wa, all that shit on the radios and all that, and on TikTok. Whenever the label's heavily pushing something, I'm looking the other way. That automatically turns me off from music. If I'm feeling like I'm being force-fed the song, I don't want it.
Strip club bouncers that form a force field around you, you be food.
Oh, shit.
You a 20-piece chicken nugget with sweet and sour sauce. All right? And let me tell you something.
Damn, chat. Yo, chat. Again. With all due respect, chat, I think we should move on. I'm just gonna let this guy just live in his own denial until we'll give the appropriate response at the appropriate time. Okay, but only advice I would give to him, which I really don't want him to take this advice. You got to be yourself. Like putting on a different voice, doing this. You don't have to be somebody else to do what you got to do. But good riddance, and hopefully it works out for you. But really don't have anything else to say to this guy. I'm not gonna lie to you. The reason being is that I've made my point clear. I don't care about you that much. I just believe that you are a downgrade from the last people that were there that were unsuccessful. So the only way to prove me wrong or right is to show me that beyond, and I know how these contracts work, you're probably guaranteed there for a year or maybe 2. Let's see in a few years. I think I'll be proven right. Your views are abysmal currently. You could mention all these type of things about pushing culture. Let me tell you this. culture and all that other stuff you're talking about ain't never get a check cut at Hot 97. They're owned by a company that's about X's and O's, dollars and cents. But we'll see if you're right. For today, you're spared. But I got it loaded up.
Looking down at Akademiks and basically looking down at the YouTube community is how I'm taking it. And it's wild because you on the podcast with Carmelo well, again, look, he's looking at it different. Y'all niggas are just sitting in front of a camera talking to yourself. I'm sitting with Carmelo Anthony. Again, something, my brother, you do not own. Mero, I wish that you would have went down that YouTube route, which you did for a bit, which he did, because I was watching his reactions. He basically did what they were doing on Viceland by himself. And I was watching it. I don't know what happened to it. It wasn't that consistent. Maybe he saw bigger and better things, way that he can be more lucrative with his time and make more money. And YouTube just wasn't something that he really wanted to sit and do the long grind all over again and build something again. I can't answer.
The issue was we were in two different places in life, right? I was very much so aiming for ownership.
Okay.
Being a production company.
Entrepreneurship.
Right. You know what I mean? Like owning your IP, because that's life or death in media. If you own your shit, you're good. If it's good. If it's trash, then you assed out. But if you make something good, the dude that did Squid Games got paid $25,000. That's it. And then he will never see another penny from that shit ever again. You know what I mean? And that's the game. So it's just like, if you know that, you go into it with a certain approach. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I need longevity. I need ownership. You know what I mean? Like, we developed this shit out the mud. So this is us. We own this. We're not selling this to nobody. The key word here is licensing. I'll license this shit to you for a term, 2 years, whatever, 1 and 1. But selling your IP, bro, selling your name.
That's your soul.
You know what I mean? Imagine never be able to say
IP.
Stay Mellow ever again because you sold it to X company.
Yeah, you selling your soul.
You know what I mean? So that's the type of time that I was not on.
Got it.
You know what I mean? And when you had a very poignant statement where you were like, it seems like they're preparing Jesus for Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like that next level of like Hollywood. And I was like, and I heard that and I was just like, bro, you know what's crazy? No. Like the next level of Hollywood is the three of us, Jesus, Victor, myself, sitting down with Judd Apatow and saying, yo, we're gonna do a movie, right? And then the movie gets written and he's like, I ain't really feeling this shit. When I know in the business mind, is like, yo, when you do a movie with this guy, you're not just doing a movie with this guy. This dude is like a kingmaker in terms of like, you know what I mean? Like in the film industry. If you get in there, you make a banger with him, you solidify. That's what makes you get up to the next level. I said this shit to John Caramanica from times. That's what takes you up to the next level. If you get a little taste of that Hollywood, you get a couple rollies and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like you got you get access to things, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you good with that, that's not the type of time I was on.
And it's crazy because I thought I was tweaking when I heard Mero dissing him and seeing Twitter going crazy, like, oh shit, they put a dagger in Axe Hall. Oh my God. And I'm looking at it like, I guess. There's nothing I've never heard before. It's nothing new here. A lot of outdated jokes. I feel like Mero's a lot funnier than that. I feel like he could have got a lot better. He's talking about, when I interview people, I interview Obama, Denzel Washington. I don't think he understands right now what's relevant. And that's the issue with Hot 97. You guys have people that go up there all the time. Why, when you do an interview at Hot 97 and then Power 105 does the same interview, there's like 5 times the views on Power 105. We don't care who you guys have up there. We know you can get guests, even though right now I don't feel like you can get them as easy as you used to get them before due to disrespecting so many like Kodak Black, Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Yachty, and many others that have been disrespected up there. Yes, there's a new team now. We don't got to think about what Ebru did and what Peter did. With like the Wiz Khalifa stuff comes to mind. Like every time Joe Budden comes to mind. Every time I think of Hot 97, there's always some nasty shit. Like the modern era of Hot 97. Because when I was a child, bro, Hot 97 was just crazy. I remember I moved to Rhode Island. That was one of the things I missed from New York City, which was crazy. You would be like, what? Radio. I missed Hot 97. I remember crying about that when I moved to Rhode Island. Like, yo, there's no more Hot 97? I can't hear Funk Flex drop bombs and play the same song 9 times. Like, I miss it today. That emotion doesn't come from radio anymore. You would probably feel like that closer about your favorite YouTuber before you feel like that about your favorite disc jockey. And Adam22 shares similar thoughts. Again, I'm happy to see that I wasn't crazy. Akademiks goes on live and we see him like, yo, I'm not gonna drop 60 on Mero. You wanna know why? Because I'm seeing the comments and everyone's saying him dissing Akademiks.
Probably a lot of you guys have seen this clip of Mero talking about Akademiks.
And this was supposed to be like some kind of ether. I see people on Twitter talking like this was just him dropping a bomb on Ak. I'm sorry. This shit sucked. Like, I could try to sort of summarize the points he was making. Basically, you know, I mean, you call Ak fat and an alcoholic. Okay, whatever. He says that Ak lives in his mom's basement. We all know that he's lived in a house that he owns for many, many years now. He says that Ak, like, basically only gets by off commenting on the culture and he doesn't create anything. Like, is this serious? Like, you're on the radio. Like, your big thing is that you guys are on the radio. You play music and you talk about what's in the news, right? Like, how is that any different? There's literally no difference. And I know this don't got nothing to do with me, but I'm just like offended on his behalf that somebody who has like a microscopic fan base on YouTube, like Mero, I'll give him credit. He gets like a lot of likes on Twitter for whatever reason, but like as evidenced by the numbers on Hot 97, no impact, none. Like, I don't know about the Dwayne Reed clerks that are driving to work that might be listening to Hot 97, but like, let's be real. YouTube is basically all that matters in short form, right? Like, that's it. And like Mero put out a video about me maybe like a year or two ago. Tried being a YouTuber for a little bit, I saw, and just like gave up. And like, I didn't even consider watching it. So let's be real, man. We're all playing the same game. We're all just trying to get viewership. And like, you don't get to do the moral high ground on the radio.
Was actually one of the highest viewpoints that they have had since he's been working there. So Ak's looking at it like, nah, I'm gonna wait till this nigga gets fired. When they fire him and they replace him for somebody else, then we're gonna pick up this beef again. I'm not helping they numbers. I'm not helping they numbers. And that's kind of like the young Drake approach. If you guys remember, Drake would diss you, but never say your name. Basically, because he's like, yo, if I say your name on a Drake song that's getting millions, people are gonna go look you up. I'm not trying to help you at all. So he'll diss you to the point that us real hip hop fans or people paying attention to the smoke knows, but he would never say that name. And that's the approach that Ak's taking on this one. I'm not gonna feed my enemies. I want them niggas to starve. I want him to get fired. I think if it was up to Ak, he would call ICE and make Mero go back to DR. Don't do it, brother. Please don't do it. Because Mero, again, is my guy. De lo mío. De lo mío. But the way that Akademiks is moving towards the name Mero right now, you know he's petty. You know he's petty. He's going to diss Mero 4 years from now. I'm like, I knew it. I knew that nigga was going to get fired. I called it. Like, Ak, you called it 4 years ago. The nigga went on to have a career at Hot 97. I don't know if it still counts, but Akademiks is never going to forget. Let me tell you that now. I literally tip my hat to Ak. I love to see the petty. Ak, Drake, Nicki Minaj, 50 Cent. Ooh! Gives me like a little energy in my back, a little zing. I love to see the petty in them. Where do you think this goes? Where do you think this continues? Where do I think it goes? I think it just goes on forever. I think they're just not gonna like each other. Something that stood out to me though, Mero said, yo, if you didn't get surrounded by security around that strip club, you'd have been fooled. Oh, they was about to stomp out Akademiks in New Jersey? Y'all was gonna stomp my nigga out in New Brunswick? Hold on, time out, what happened? Yo, this is crazy. There's a whole bunch of stories that happen in media that we never hear, that just never comes out to the light and it just happens behind the scenes. There's probably 100 rappers that fought each other, niggas that shitted themselves. Remember that whole story about Drake getting peed on in the movie theater? Every time I talked about Drake and how he's the GOAT, niggas would throw that back in my face, even though we did hear, Drake confirmed that it was fake. I kept saying it the whole time, like, I don't know, this shit just don't sound real to me. It just don't sound real to me. Thank the Lord, we did get confirmation that that wasn't true. And let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think Mero dropped the bomb? Was you there like, oh, Mero went crazy, ether, the shit that make your soul burn slow? Or did you just listen to it like nothing new, nothing new? Two dudes that been beefing for over 10 years. Not really 10 years, but probably like at least 5, no bullshit. At least 5 to 6, maybe we'll even throw 7, that just don't like each other. I get it. There's people like that in life. It don't matter what you do in life. It don't matter what I do. We just never gonna like each other. And I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that. But takes a lot of energy to keep dissing each other every so often. When will Ak response now? That's the real thing. That's what I'm taking over under down below. 2026 over under. Does Ak respond and really go crazy on Mero for 3 hours this year? Over under. Let me know your thoughts. Sub to the channel, guys. Comment down below. Do not forget we're on that road to 22,000 subscribers.